This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
That's me. All right. Technical difficulties on the video side. It crashed on me. I have no idea why. I started the podcast initially without any audio. So, I was like, fuck it. We're 5 minutes in. Let's redo the whole fucking thing. Let me share this link real quick. Let me get this link out here so people can watch it. I got like fucking 10 things going live now. I don't know what's happening. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it live. This is why I don't like doing it live. Should have recorded it. But I want to spend time with my babies. I want to spend time with my kids. All right, listen. I talked about the Masvidal stuff. I talked about all that. I really don't feel like repeating that because this is take 2. I want to get into the picks, okay? Your boys had a lovely week. Been on vacation. I'm ready to talk about the picks. It sucks that I shared. Well, hopefully that link still works. I shared it on a couple other social media things. Doesn't matter. We're here. We're locked in. Up 6 units from last week. I've overthought this card the entire time. I'm really trying to lock in. First fight of the night. I've already tried to pronounce this guy's name. We only got to the second fight, then I had to restart over. So Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I feel like I got a little better for Dong Jun. Pick'em fight. Kennedy coming off a nice 2 nice wins. Cole Sorberg was favored. He knocked him out, and then he beat Daniel Marquez in the 3rd round, which I had money on Marquez, and Marquez is just basically a grapper. Kennedy said, "No, I got 3rd round gas." Dong Jun coming off another win of a guy I had money on. I had money on William Knight. Dong Jun proved that all Koreans have pretty good goddamn judo, and even though he is a stand-up guy and he likes to brawl it out, he saw some holes in William Knight's game, put him on his back, and decided to pound him out. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I've already done this fight before. I'm going to go Dong Jun here on my pick. I think Dong Jun is the safer play here. It's a pick'em fight. You kind of want to pick the safer plays. He's had a little more experience. I feel like he's been in there with some good guys, even though that split draw or whatever happened to Sam Alvey, that's kind of ugly. And Kennedy's built like Sam Alvey. He's got some big strikes. I can see why people love Kennedy in this spot, but I think Dong Jun kind of unlocked a little bit of his game with that takedown and being heavy on top. So give me Dong Jun. I'm sorry for running through that. I've already done that fight. This is take 2. Okay. There's no prompters. There's nothing, not much written down. I can't just repeat the same shit over and over again. If someone had me do this like 5 times over, I'd be exhausted with, you know what I mean? Just saying the same shit over and over again. So now we're on to a new fight. Thank God that when the shit crashed, we didn't get too far. Mark Dakisi versus Rafael Eva Alves. Dakisi is -188, Alves +152. And the only thing I can describe Alves is a fucking wild man. This guy missed his first debut UFC fight by like 50 pounds. It wasn't that high, but it was pretty fucking goddamn high. Came back, fought Damir Zungulov. Had a decent showing against a guy, and Damir is 22-1. Fucking absolute stud. Rocked Damir in that fight. Showed some holes in his game. He's 19-10. He's got a wild record for a reason because he's a fucking wild man. Dakisi's coming over, really good striker, pretty well rounded. His cardio is really shaped up as well. And the biggest thing about Dakisi is that he was his fierce striker, and now he's kind of seemed like he's playing it safe a little bit, in my opinion. I feel like his technical abilities are better than Alvarez. I think both guys have fucking power. Both guys are fucking ripped up with the bodies. And Alves is kind of a little bit of a laughing stock. He's a wild man. He's got some great clips outside the UFC. If you go watch tape, he's only had one fight in the UFC, but the missed weight thing is going to be a meme for a while. And Dakisi's been a staple in the UFC. I mean, he's in the UFC game. He's got the red fucking mohawk. He fought a really tough guy fight against Rafael Fiziev his last time out. Good striker. He showed some pretty good. He showed some pretty good durability. He got beat up to the body a little bit, and he showed some heart here. I don't know why, but I'm going to go Alves. I like the wild man in this. I like the wild man at +152. And not only do I like him, I kind of love him here, man.
We need more dogs.
That's my dog pick, baby. Rafael Alves +152. I just, you know what? There's not a great reasoning behind this, if I'm being honest with you. I don't love a ton of unders on here. And Alves is a guy who, Dakisi, to me, hasn't really proved himself in the UFC at this point. Has shown to have some lackluster performances. Alves, I thought, looked pretty good against a really fucking tough guy. This is going to be his 30th MMA fight. I think he has a little bit more ways to win. Dakisi has shown that does have some really good takedown offense as of late. His cardio has really held up. The biggest issue is his stand-up. Again, I think he's hesitant. I think he's a little gun-shy. I think Alves' wild man ability is going to draw out of him, and that could play into Casey's hands. Or Alves could take over with his style, which I think is what's going to happen. I hope this was going to happen. But plus 152, that's my dog lock, baby. Plus 152, give me Wild Man Alves. What is his nickname? Because his nickname should be Wild Man. It better be Wild Man in like Portuguese or something. What is it? The Turn. The Turn? I mean, I guess you could make like a wild turn. So maybe it's like not so on the nose like Wild Man. Maybe they're like, hey, let's call him The Turn. It's not even in Portuguese. It's just English. It's Rafael The Turn Alves. Let's workshop that nickname, Alves. Let's workshop that nickname, buddy. I would like to see maybe a better nickname out there. Okay, next up, Courtney Casey minus 245 versus. Sorry, it's getting a little hot in here for your boy. Liana Jojua plus 194. Jojua is currently my number 2. Mackenzie Dern, Queen Mackenzie's number 1. Jojua, she kills it. Okay, Queen Jojua kills it. Now, plus 194 is steep, right? Courtney Casey's 9-9, but she's fucking fought everybody. She's tough. She's durable. She's well-rounded. We get it, Courtney. You're fucking good. Jojua, she's had a loss with a cut on the nose, and she's had a couple experiences. Her stand-up's not great. She's got a fucking killer arm bar. Hasn't been around that long. She's 8-4. Her record's not great, but man, just look at her. Man, just look at her. You know what I mean? Someone said today, I saw on Twitter, that she's a 4, and that her bazoombas, her ladies, her bazans up front make her a 6. If you think, I don't care if she had no tits. If you think she's a 4, I mean, some guys are really crazy about like big noses. I don't care. But listen, let's break down the fight. This is going to be a dick pic. Okay. You know what I mean? Not what you think. This is just me picking with my penis. It's going to be Liana Jojua all the way. Plus 194. I'm hoping she can get an arm bar here, or something. I'm not confident. Courtney Casey isn't a killer finisher. She's decent on the ground, but she's been submitted before. Jojua is good off her back. She left Georgia. I believe she went to Long Island for a little bit and then ended her training camp, or most of her training camp has been in Vegas, which is good. She's getting new bodies, getting new looks. There's a million fighters over in Vegas they're giving her good looks. And her armbar game is what, I mean, she's basically Ronda Rousey, just not as good, right? She just has an armbar. Is Courtney Casey going to fall for it? I fucking hope so, because this is a fight that I'm probably going to play. It's plus 194, 9-9 Courtney Casey, even though she has fought the better competition. You know what I mean? She shouldn't be this big of a favorite. That's people thinking that Jojua stinks. I think she's a specialist. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go Jojua plus 184. The only reason I'm going her is because, I respect the game. The integrity of the picks is the only reason why. It has nothing to do with anything else. My buzz cut's growing out. I need to get this fucking cut. My wife is the best hairstylist in Cincinnati, and I can't get a fucking haircut for free anymore. We're going to need to change that. Next up, Colin England plus 245 versus Sean Woodson minus 320. Sean Woodson resembles and is built like Timbo, part of this podcast. Tim Mitchell, Temptations 10, Bet the Best 3. Christian photoshopped Tim's head on his body last weekend. It was very funny. I wish I would have done it now. I didn't want to steal his bit. But very good. Sean Woodson, just a long, tall, skinny, rangy guy at 145. Whenever he fights, I get terrified because I'm waiting for something to break, right? He's so skinny. I can deal with blood. I can deal with cuts. I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? I get squeamish when shit breaks, right? Leg breaks. And there was a guy, Corey Hill, RIP, fought in the Ultimate Fighter. He was fucking 6'10", not really. He was tall, though. How tall is Sean? I think Sean Woodson 6'3", right? 6'2", but at 145, you look 8 foot tall. But I think Corey Hill was 6'5", fought at 155, was just nothing but skinny belts. He broke his leg, throwing a kick, snapped it outside the UFC. I think it was outside the UFC. It might have been in the UFC. Was it? Either way, he died. RIP Corey Hill. So every time I see these long, skinny guys, I get a little tight, the old stomach here. Colin Anglin coming off the Contender Series. Denny Excuse me. Then he got in there and just got his head knocked around by Melsik Baghdasaryan. Colin's a tough dude. He comes forward, but what does he have besides being tough? Oh, you're tough? Cool. Is your stand-up great? No. Is your wrestling good? It's okay. He's a jack of all trades, but he's not that good. I mean, you got to be good at everything MMA, but he's just not good at everything. In my opinion, I think mentally and cardio, and he comes from a good camp. He's young, so he could make leaps and bounds here. The issue I have with this fight is the line, right? So I'm on Woodson. Listen, I'm on Sean Woodson here. There's no doubt about it, but the line's crazy. Minus 320 is nuts. Sean Woodson looked like complete dog shit against Julian Erosa on short notice. Uzi Salah, his last time out, he looked just average, looked like he's going in for a win. This guy has a lot of tools. He looked great on the Contender Series. He knocked out Terrence McKinney, right? Am I taking crazy pills? Or he knocked out? Yeah. Yeah, he knocked out. Terrence McKinney fights in the UFC. Quickest knockout at 155. This dude knocked him out with a flying knee. Great story. You know, his pops passed away. And when they run the promo of the Contender Series, they got me. You know, pulled on me a little bit. But I think he's skilled. I think he's talented. I don't know why I'm developing a cough all of a sudden. But yeah, I think he's skilled. I think he's talented. But what shows up? We don't know what he shows up. And when you're giving me a price of minus 320, I don't like betting who shows up and what kind shows up. Colin Anglin, again, a guy, I kind of shit on him a little bit. I don't think he's great at everything or anything. But he's there, right? And he could be there till the third round. Is Woodson going to gas? This is a big weight cut. He's an awkward body. His fucking leg might snap. This is going to be a pass for me. I'm not going to bet this fight solely based on the line. I think Sean Woodson is a talented guy. I'm excited about him. That Terrence McKinney win just keeps getting better. But the line scares me off. It terrifies me. It fucking terrifies me. I can't do it. I can't do the line, so I won't do the line. But the pick is Sean Woodson. Next up, Miguel. But my card's a little different than Tapology. It looks like they're mixing some things around here. So they took my advice. They moved Miguel Baeza versus Chaos Williams up the card, which is what they should have done. Thiago Moises, Joel Alvarez, or Miguel Baeza, Chaos Williams should be the co-main event. The co-main event's completely weak. But listen, this is what it's got on my card. This is how I got it set up, so we're running with it. I love this fight. Favorite fight of the night, Miguel Baeza minus 144 versus Chaos Williams plus 118. So this is a tale of two fights, right? You know, I've been watching a lot of YouTube cappers and I listen to everything, the people that are in this space. How do I get better? There's so many fucking people that just break down numbers. While 60% of the time Miguel Baeza lands his right leg, and then 74% of the time he lands his left leg. So I'm going to be concentrating. Let's shut the fuck up, man. Like, that's boring. You're going to put me to sleep. Like, give a stat, but don't go crazy with it. Some people like that, though. Some fucking people like that. I don't like it. I can't fucking stand it. Timmy Mitchell, Timbo in the chat. Let's get it. Let's go. I just did your fight, Timbo. I picked you to win. But this fight's a tale of two fights here. Miguel Baeza is by far the more technical fighter. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. I think his striking's better. But Chaos Williams is fucking nails. Chaos Williams has big power, and Chaos Williams has a good chin and has shown to have good cardio. Miguel Baeza slowed down the Santiago Ponzinibbio fight. Ponzinibbio is a fucking high-level dude, but Baeza's like, I'm going to get him out of their leg kicks. I'm going to throw these calf kicks. I'm going to hurt him. Well, they didn't hurt him. I mean, they hurt him, but they didn't stop him. Ponzinibbio came forward, and Baeza faded. Chaos Williams has a win over Matt Sullinsberger. It was a very close win, but his last loss was Michel Pereira. Tough fight. He landed some big shots on Pereira, and Pereira's fucking nails too. The guy, I know he dances a lot. You know, he does this walking out, and he does a million fucking backflips. But the guy's legit. And Chaos Williams is a guy who I got my eye on. He's built like a shit ton of bricks. Has anybody ever said that before? And the dude's got fucking power. He's got power. And Baeza has been rocked before. Matt Brown almost put him out of there. Ponzinibbio had him on skates. The longer this fight goes, the worse it is for Williams. But when you're giving me a plus number on a power like this, I know it's not like everyone says it's a puncher's chance and all this shit like that. I don't know if that's true. But I think Chaos Williams, this is one of those weird MMA fights, man, where Baeza has everything in his corner. He's better on the ground. He has good submissions. He is the touted prospect coming from the Contender Series. He has better striking. The only thing he doesn't have is maybe that little bit of savage that Chaos has. He doesn't have the power. He has power, but he doesn't have Chaos power. With that being said, I'm going to go dog here. I'm going to go Chaos Williams. I like this play. I like this play. If I'm going to play it, it's going to be Williams by finish. That's the only way I see him winning. I really can't see him knocking around Baeza for 3 rounds without getting him out of there. I think he's going to get him out of there. Chaos fought a little cautious in the Pereira fight, which I think cost him. Pereira is a wild fucking man. But in this fight, I'm hoping that he fucking just goes out there and destroys him and just walks forward with that power, because Baeza is going to chip away at your leg. He's going to maybe try to get you down. Dan Martin chimes in. I like that pick, and he does get hit a lot. Dan Martin is 100% right. Baeza gets hit a lot. He's been dropped by lesser guys with less power. The only thing is Williams can't be shot. He can't be trying to read everything, right? Because then he's going to get his leg chewed up, and then he's going to be down 2 rounds. Now, he can find him in the third. But I'm worried about that leg kick. I'm worried about the length of Baeza. But Williams does have some big fucking power. And Baeza gets hit. And he has proven to get hit and get hurt by getting hit as well. So give me fucking Chaos Williams. I love the chaos. Let's go. Cynthia Calvillo minus 122 versus Angela Lee plus 100. Interesting fight here. This fight was going to be on the Slimeball Parlay. I took it off. For the reason that Cynthia Calvillo and Andrea Lee, all they do is fight to decisions, right? I read this as all day Cynthia Calvillo, and that's my pick. I'm not swaying for my pick. My pick is going to be Cynthia Calvillo. I think she has better wrestling. I think she is been in there with some of the best in the world. She's coming off a loss. She's taking this on short notice. But Andrea Lee has just never really made that turn, right? She was very respected, touted coming into the UFC, and she just hasn't really done it yet. Yeah, she can beat Antonina Shevchenko. Big fucking whoop. Her takedown offense is garbage. She can get up and she likes to scramble, but I just don't know if she's there. People are taking Lee at this plus money. It was a pick 'em. I see money coming on Calvillo as well. But this, to me, when I read this first, this was a layup for Calvillo for me. Calvillo does have good wrestling. She does have good striking. She doesn't slow down. 125 is a great weight class for her. Hopefully she doesn't miss weight. I know she has weight issues, but 125 I think is perfect for her. So this is but it scares me because I don't want a slime ball pick, a parlay piece that I'm putting 1.5 units on, $150. I don't want that to go down to a fight that a judge can get wrong. Now, all these fights can obviously go to a decision. But this is a fight where I would bet the prop it goes to the decision. And it's probably minus 800, whatever it is. Bet your fucking life on it. No way these girls are finishing each other. Calvillo seemed pissed to get finished by Andrade. She's a ferocious fighter. She's got a great record. She's been in there with some good girls. I think it's Calvillo all the way. This is almost my mortal lock. This is almost on my slime ball. Again, I've had all week to overthink it. So I overthought it. I had to take her off. But I'm still very confident in Calvillo. I'm good to bet her straight up because I think that price is really, really good. But man, I just don't trust the judges. I know it's in Vegas. It's nothing crazy, but man, crazier decisions have happened, and I don't want to be on the fucking wrong end of it. I just had a great week last week. I need to be sharp. And I'm playing like a sharp. I'm picking like a sharp. Next up, Thiago Moises minus 260 versus Joel Alvarez plus 205. Probably my second favorite fight on the card. First favorite is Baeza and Williams. This is my second, and then the main event's my third. I just, we'll get to the main event. I mean, I love Max. It has nothing to do with Max. But anyway, this is a tough fight. I hit Thiago Moises on plus 850. Probably one of the only props I ever fucking won. Even though I didn't win a prop last week to really end my skid, but I'm not a huge prop guy. My prop record is terrible, but 850 Moises to beat Bobby Green by decision. Kind of the easiest money ever made. He's a durable guy. He's a durable, tough dude. He went 4 rounds with Islam his last time out. He got in there with that fucking savage, and he looked pretty good. He got finished. The only time he's ever been submitted. Was it the only time he's ever been finished? I'm sorry about this coughing, guys. The audio is probably terrible, but I don't know what came over me. Oh, yeah, so it's the only time he's ever been finished was Islam. He's a high-level black belt, and he got choked up by Islam. That's the kind of level Islam's at. Joel Alvarez comes in. This is a guy that I've shitted on quite a bit. Huge for 155. 18-2 record. Great submissions. long for the division, shown some good heart, has come back in fights. You know, he hasn't fought since 2020. He had 2 fights in 2020. Alexander Yakovlev, who's a Russian rapper, guy spits bars in fucking Russian. Joe Duffy, who is, I think, retired after the fight, maybe. And then Danilo Bellardo, who I don't know. And then he made his UFC debut against Damir Uzmagulov and he lost, so that's no big deal there. Thiago's fought the better competition. That goes without saying. But a lot of people are high on Alvarez. They think this kid is slick off his back, and he 100% is. But in that Joe Duffy fight, he was getting touched a little bit, right? He's getting touched up a little bit on the feet. For being as big as he is, he's been away for just a little bit, so maybe he has made improvements. His size, I think, is going to be a problem for Thiago. But I think Thiago, again, I don't know what this coughing is, COVID. I think Thiago is the better fighter here. I think he's a little more well-rounded. I think he gets the fight to the ground. I think he is better standing. I think he's a little bit more durable. He's obviously fought the better competition, but minus 260 doesn't scare me off, right? It shouldn't scare you off if you have a bankroll. It is a little high. Alvarez, though, at plus 205 is kind of an underdog dream because this guy can catch a submission anywhere. But Thiago Moises, high-level black belt, young kid, was on a nice little streak, coming off a submission loss to Islam, to anybody, but coming off a submission loss to Islam, this guy's not getting tapped again. He's just not. He's angry right now. He's pissed off. He's embarrassed, right? I know, I don't know him personally, but I know that's how he's feeling. His striking's scrappy. It's not great as scrappy. Got to worry about Alvarez on the feet with his length, but I don't think he's a huge threat. Obviously, I think this fight's going to be one to play down on the ground. I think Moises was going to keep it up eventually. Alvarez, I think, is going to fade. That weight cut, it's big. It's big on him. He's a big boy at 155. He's tall. He's wide. So I think the longer this goes, the better it favors Thiago. I like this play at minus 260. I don't love it. I like it, but my pick is going to be Thiago, and it's a great fight. Next up, Julio Arce, plus 120 versus Song Yadong. Song Yadong, the best name in MMA. I've said it every time he fights. The best name in MMA, Song Yadong. Hang on, let me check. Great fight. Julio Arce is a guy that a lot of people like. He was hot for a while, hot in the streets, as the kids say. He's going on all these wins, and he had a split decision loss to Shamrock Rice, who's no longer with the promotion. Then he came back and knocked out Julian Rosa in a 3-round war. Then he lost to Kim Daladoon. Then he knocked out Andre Ewell. Kind of up and down, up and down, and down. But he's smooth. He's slick. He's got good striking. A little bit of a chin issue, but he is smooth in there. Song Yadong is just a guy that's just going to come forward. Song Yadong is like, hey, okay, cool. So you want me to fight a decision? Okay, that's cool. You want me to win or lose a close decision? Yeah, that's the name of the game. Song's highlight is him knocking out, I think it was, who was it? Was it Reyes or somebody? Him knocking out someone with a giant right hand. That's his only highlight. He's a high-level fighter. He's a young kid coming out of Alpha Male, but that's his only highlight, is that one fucking knockout. We need to get this guy some more highlights. I don't know if it's going to happen in this fight. This fight was by far the hardest fight for me to pick. I'm staying away from this on a betting perspective. I think the best play with fight goes to decision. I mean, that's going to be the best play. Even though I think Arce has been touched before, he's been hurt before. I think the biggest issue is Song just isn't the striker and doesn't have the power that we all think he does. I think he has a great chin. I think he's going to be able to take Arce his best shot. I think the wrestling, the grappling is going to be interesting. I don't know who's going to have the upper hand. With that being said, I'm going to go chalk. I'm going to go minus 148. I'm going to go Song Yadong here. Simply because of the name. I mean, the name is so fucking money that how can I not take Song Yadong? But no, I just think it's going to come really close. It's going to go to decision, and Song Yadong loves those decision fights, and it's probably worth a shot taking the fucking underdog here, if I'm being honest with you, because it's going to go to decision, and this is a live betting situation as well. You can see how it goes going into that third round or whatever, because I think it's going to be a close fight. But yeah, give me Song Yadong. Don't love it. Not going to bet it. I'm going to pass on it, but that's my pick. I swear to God, I haven't coughed once today. I haven't coughed one goddamn time today, and all of a sudden I'm fucking over here like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, coughing up a storm. What the fuck's going on? All right, Felicia Spencer, minus 300. This line has grown to Leah Letson, plus 235. Now, you know me, guys. I'm tuned into the MMA world. I follow these fighters. I do pick'ems every week. I watch every event. prelims top to bottom, post-fight shows. I listen to the podcast. I'm tuned in. Who the fuck is Leah Letson was what I said to myself. I said, who the fuck is Leah Letson? I see the picture. Okay, she was on The Ultimate Fighter. Has she fought in the UFC and snuck by me or something like that? Kinda. Yeah, she fought Julia Storolenko, won a split decision 3 fucking years ago. Came out the Ultimate Fighter, lost to Macy Chazan, won on the Ultimate Fighter, lost to Macy Chazan, beat Julia Storolenko by split decision. By the way, Storolenko is awful. She's terrible. But 3 years ago, and I was a little upset. I'm like, who the fuck is this person? It goes without saying I'm taking Felicia Spencer here. Listen, I was impressed with Felicia Spencer's loss, right? Her loss to Cyborg, I believe, right? Was it Cyborg or was it Nunes? Who did she? Both. She took a decision of both. She has a stop over Sarah Vam round 1. Got thrown in the woods because there's not many girls at 155, but she took a beating from Cyborg, was there, took a beating from Nunes, was there. Nunes raised her hand. She showed her toughness, but toughness isn't only going to get you so far. You got to show some skill. She's a better grappler. Don't know why Norma Dumont fight. She didn't try to grapple. She tried to strike her. There's a split decision loss. Norma Dumont is a good fighter. Leah Letson, though, I looked up some tape on her for what I could find because I said, who the fuck are they just pulling bitches off the street? Who the fuck is this? She wants to keep the fight standing. She's kind of all over the place. Doesn't really have the best, really anything. She's just your average kind of fighter that just is still somehow in contact with the UFC. I think this line should be wider. I think people maybe are doubting Spencer because she only has one win in the UFC. I get that. Minus 300, 3-1 favorite. And I said it's growing. It's still quite of a big line, but I think this should be a 500, 600 favorite for Spencer. It really depends, obviously, what Spencer shows up to. Spencer comes in and wrestles like she did against Sarah and just dominates on top, ground and pound, maybe a submission. That's what she needs to do. Leah Letson, I think this. I see finish written all over this. And I'm all over Spencer here, and so much so that I'm gonna lock her out. I love that little. Let me know. I locked her up. That's my modal lock of the car. Felicia Spencer. I know she's a little high. Might be a chalky bitch move out there because, whatever. But, I just think she should be higher. I think even at 3-1, she's a steal here. Not just saying because I don't know who Leah Letson is. Like I said, I went back and did my due diligence. I got time on my hands. I went back and watched her fights. And unless she has got exponentially better in 3 years, which I'm sure she's made improvements, but I'm also sure some of those 3 years, the reason she was out of the UFC was because she was hurt. So I don't know how much improvement she can be made. I like Felicia Spencer here big. I see a finish happening, and I see it get ugly quick. Co-main event. Oh, I hate even saying that. I hate even fucking saying that about this fight. This is the co-main event. Disgusting.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
I think this is just an awful co-main event. Ben Rothwell minus 158 versus Marcos Rodrigo de Lima plus 128. I almost consulted Christian on this one. I really had no opinion most of the week on this fight. And then I really kind of, obviously people were sharing de Lima's record. It's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. All his wins are guys from outside the UFC. Rothwell's coming off a nice little win. He's been around for fucking a million years, yada, yada, yada. And then I just said, whoa, because I guess there's something in my brain that says fade Ben Rothwell. Don't take him. Because I don't think I ever bet him. I always pick against him. Well, I'm not on that train. I'm taking Ben Rothwell here. De Lima's a quitter. We've seen him quit before. His game right now is he's going to blitz you with big strikes. And then if those don't land, then he's going to try to take you down. I just don't see Ben Rothwell getting taken down. I see Ben Rothwell maybe taking some good shots and fucking eating them like cereal because the guy's got a great chin. He's much bigger than De Lima. I see Rothwell getting this fight to the ground. I see Rothwell possibly finishing this fight either on the feet or on the ground. De Lima has a way to find a way out of there. And, that's just, it's just the truth. I mean, the guy's a quitter. He's quit before. I'm glad I didn't consult Christian because this would have been a Christian pick. I use my own brain and open it up and remove that block that was there to block anytime I want to choose Ben Rothwell. So I'm glad I did that because this is a fucking layup. Ben Rothwell's going to smoke this guy. De Lima has maybe 2 or 3 minutes in that first round, and that's it. Even if he gets Rothwell down, it's not going to be him just hammering people like he's done in the past. Rothwell is a veteran. He can get up off his back. Cardio is obviously the big issue for both these guys. I pray it doesn't go 3 rounds, because what a fucking slop fest that would be if this went 3 rounds. Please don't go 3 rounds. But Rothwell's the pick. It's a quite easy one. Hopefully Christian, the heavyweight whisperer, does not. You're going to regret not consulting me. Oh, fuck. That Playboy's in the chat. Christian, please. Who are you picking in that fight? I was just going to say, I think it's a layup for Rothwell. Christian is the fucking heavyweight whisperer. So, I got kids outside my door. I don't know if you hear that. Children outside my door. So I'll let Christian answer that, and we'll get to the main event here. Max Holloway, the lines moved. I got these yesterday. 650. He's now 850. Minus 850 versus Yair Rodriguez plus 440. I don't really love this main event. I love watching Max fight. I love watching him fight. He's one of the best in the world. He's an incredible talent. His fight with Calvin Kattar is unbelievable. I rewatched that again this week, obviously preparing. Yair hasn't been in there in a while. I forget about this guy sometimes. Okay, I'm leaning Big Ben, not an official play yet. Okay, good. So the heavyweight whisperer is leading Big Ben Rothwell. Okay, that makes me sleep well at night. That's going to make me sleep well at night. Anyway, Max Holloway's an 8-1 favorite here. It's crazy. I hate the line, but it's right. Max Holloway, you put him in there with any striker not named Alexander Volkanovski, he's going to win, right? Yair Rodriguez does not have any ground game. There's no way he can mix anything up like Volkanovski. He doesn't have the best footwork. He's fancy with his kicks. He can get a little wild in there. His hands are just average. He's hittable. He's been away for a little bit. He didn't fight at all during COVID. I'm pretty sure his last win was Jeremy Stevens. Am I correct on that? Yeah, Jeremy Stevens back in 2019 decision. That was after the eye poke. Here, Jeremy Stevens bad to the body with some knees and stuff. He's obviously got that Hail Mary elbow over Korean Zombie, which everyone loves. Listen, the guy is a good striker for sure. And this is Max is the best boxer in the UFC. I love his quote this week saying, "I'm not an elevator diva. I am, I could have stayed and waited for the Volkanovski fight. I want the fight." Because everyone's questioning, like, why the fuck are you taking this fight? Like, Yair doesn't deserve this. And this is really, Yair thinks he's a bigger star than he is. That's why he's turned down so many fights before. And he's like, fuck it, I'll take the Max fight. But, yeah, this is something, this is an easy one. The Vegas has this right on. People are steaming Max. He's probably going to close like as 1,000 favorite, which is just upsetting to me because he's in my Slimeball Parlay. Spoiler alert, I'm going to show the graphic next. But Max all day. I really don't see a world where Yair can win this fight. Max hasn't beat standing. Max has shown to have some pretty good takedown defense. Max is pretty good on top if you watch the Jose Aldo fights, if it goes there. Cardio, both guys never really seem to have a problem with cardio, but I think Max has better cardio. Max looks to be really leaned out and in great shape for this fight as well. And I just think he's on another planet. Max is a guy that I faded in the past. I'm not going to fade now. Yair Rodriguez, he's got some flashy kicks and some knockouts over some good guys, but I just think Holloway's just a different animal. I don't think he's going to fall for that. I don't think he's going to overextend on anything where he's going to get caught. I think he's going to be, aware of the strikes to the body, to the head, the kicks that Yair's got, the explosiveness, and he's just going to put a pace and a boxing pace. And I see a finish too. And not only that, I mean, this is my send him home.
Send him home. Send him home early.
Get him out of there, Max. I like Max to send him home. I think it's going to be, I don't know. The over is probably set at 3.5. I like the over, and I like Max winning late. I think he's just eventually going to wear on Rodriguez, get that finish. It feels like it's been a while since we've had a Max finish. I mean, I know he finished. So who we got? Yeah, a Calvin Kattar decision, Volkanovski both split, Frank Yeager split, Poirier decision, loss, Ortega stoppage in the 4th round. But a real Max finish was back-to-back fights with Jose Aldo. Getting back to the old Max. Before that, he was finishing guys like, Anthony Pettis and so forth. So give me Max by finish. That's the play. So that's the card. That is the card. It's not the past 2 weeks. It's not the blockbusters. I think there's some plays here. And one of the biggest plays is my Slimeball Parlay. Let's take a look at it now. Boom, boom, boom. So we got Max Holloway at minus 850. We got Felicia Spencer at minus 310 and Ben Rothwell at minus 154. These are all current. I made this graphic right before we hopped on. This is all from FanDuel. 1.5 units at plus 141. You get a plus number with Max Holloway in there at 8-1. And now I said before, Cynthia Calvillo was going to be on this list. I have since moved her off. A Slimeball Parlay is just a base for you guys. I know there's Cody Safdie. He goes out there and he builds his parlays for you, gives you guys top ticket. I'm not ripping off his stick or whatever. I think the guy's fantastic. I think he's the best handicapper going right now, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Guy's fantastic. But this is just a base. Feel free to build onto this. These are my 3 plays that I think you can't go wrong with. I think these are the 3 that you can't go wrong with. I'm looking for a big night. I don't know how many plays I'm going to do. I think there's 2 props I'm going to play, maybe 2 single bets, and then this parlay, or 2 straight bets, I should say, money line. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to go all in. Next week's card's pretty good. Some fights are falling out, but yeah, we got to the end of the year. I'm trying to go up, be up at the end of the year. December 11th is right around the corner. That card is fucking stacked, even though we just lost one. December 18th is looking like to be a fucking fantastic card too. Merry fucking Christmas to me. All right, that's it. That's the show, boys. Thank you for staying with me with the technical difficulties. Thank you for staying with me with the coughing. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but I'm going to fix all of it. The coughing's going to get away here soon. I don't know why it keeps crapping out every time we fucking stream to YouTube. But that's it. That's the show. Follow me on MMA Takes Podcast on Twitter. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that fucking subscribe button. Go to Apple Podcasts, rate and review. That helps. That helps. That helps. And that's it. That's the motherfucking show. Tweet me, MMA Takes Podcast. Tell me your picks. And if you disagree with me, I'll tell you why you're wrong. What do you think about that? All right, I'll see you.